Hey Jip, TCGShek here, and I'm here to do my March 2012 banlist prediction. Now, these are just what I think might happen. There are some stuff that I think should happen, stuff like that, but it's a prediction. I'll most likely be wrong through most of it, because most people are, because Konami's weird like that. Hence, weird stuff coming back like BLS. Even though a few people were predicting it because of Gold Series, but it really shouldn't have happened. Anyway, my ban list, I'll start from my ban spit. Also, I've realised the lighting has changed on this. It looks brighter for some strange reason, or I just look paler now or something. Don't know why. It's the same camera, same light, same laptop, everything's same. Bit weird. Anyway, banned. This is arguable. Anyway, you can figure out what it is, but arguable. Think that's it. Blame my Asianness. Anyway, first one is BLS. It does need to get banned, but to be honest, the argument is OCG are getting it in packs, so that's the only argument, because Konami over there will reward their players with stuff. It's cheap over there, and that's where our ban list comes from, so if people there get BLS, apparently they get to keep it and use it for another format, but honestly, it does need to go. I think it should go. I might, but it's just BLS. You don't really need any explaining to why. Second card, Mind Control. Mind Control now is starting to become just as bad as Brain was, to be honest. It's for the fact that now Mind Control is used to steal a monster, synchro, exceed, anything with it. Even like YCS Brighton, the one that won the game, Mind Control their Leviathan, and then just use that to get their rabbit back, and then start all those shenanigans to go for game. All because of Mind Control. Before, Brain was bad because you stole monster, synchroed with it, steal a monster, attack with it. Now it's Mind Control. You can do a lot more since you can take face downs as well, so Mind Control is starting to get just that bad. So that's why I think Mind Control should go. It's starting to become a staple in every deck as well, for the fact that there's so many XEs. But that's that. Next card, Pot of Avarice. It is basically a +1. It is a +1. It is splashed into many decks again, and basically extremely excellent top deck late game. It helps plants basically refuel their entire engine by sending their Tengus, their Lone Fire, even stuff like that, Dandy. If they have 1-for-1 in their hand, say a Glow Up Bulb or a Spore, and then just reuse them again. And the ridiculous thing is just sending Tengus back, especially, and just reuse them again, and for even more pluses. And you get draw 2, so it's just become ridiculous. It's pretty much a pot of greed. So Avarice, honestly, I think that does need to get it. That will slow down the plants, but I'm not sure by how much. Because a lot of people thought after the last banlist, plants were dead. Oh, they lost so many cards. Oh, they're gonna die. Yeah, that didn't happen. So that could be a card that might tip it. People might think it's going, but it might not be enough to tip them over the edge on not being as good as they are now. So for that reason, I think plants have been around for enough time, so maybe Lone Fire or Dandelion. If Dandelion goes, then it'll just give them, it might just kill the engine, so not sure on that one, but they do need this. I'll honestly say they do need to get hit. Or Lone Fire, it'll stop them getting their searches whenever they need it. And also, most people remove Lone Fire for Spore's effect, but it's debatable on what you could do. Some people are saying Glow Up Bulb. I honestly don't think Glow Up Bulb is the problem. It is Dandy or Lone Fire, I say, are the big power cards. Lone Fire just gets Glow Up Bulb, gets Spore, stuff like that. But they've already got enough limitations on them so they're not abused completely. But I say I hit one of those two plants and it should be okay. Next card, it's a maybe for me, is Bryonic, Dragon of the Ice Barrier. Bryonic has been able to cause many loops, such as, along with obviously Delorn, hence why that's at 2, but it can cause loops because of bouncing cards back to the hand, like the Infernity Trish loop. You can do that because of Bryo. I think Bryo's more likely to get hit than Trish right now, to be fair, because Bryo is in my opinion, Bryo is easier to make, so that's why I think that will get banned before Trish does, because Trish, the main one that's able to make it that easily is plants, and if you hit them, then Trish becomes quite hard, unless you have decks that can actually revolve around it, then Trish is actually quite a hard card to make, because hence people ran one Mistworm but it wasn't abused, stuff like that. It's just for the fact it's there if you can make it. That's what I'm thinking it'll turn after a while if you start hitting the decks that actually make Trish whenever they want, basically. And last card I think should be banned, or they might. I think they probably will hit one of these, is either Dark Hole, Reborn, or Heavy Storm. One of the 3 big spell cards that you play now. I think Reborn should go. I do not think Heavy should go. It is healthy for the game that we don't just set so much. So I think Heavy should stay, but one of the other 2 should go. I would probably prefer Reborn. That card is now just ridiculous now. And I'm pretty sure if you know what Reborn's basically been the yo-yo card, it has been going back and forth, and I think it's time for it to go. But then again, Dark Hole has had its time as well, but I'm not sure what Konami will think on that, but we'll have to see. To 1, this one I'm thinking is my own choice, is MST to 1. MST at 3 has really made back row very meh to play with 3 MSTs. Hence, D-Prisons are no longer getting run as much, stuff like that. Mirror Force was even considered being taken out, but people have still decided to keep playing it. It's their choice. For me, I've decided to play it in the odd decks I make, but I think MST to 1, it'll start giving people back row again, because MST at 1 and Heavy at 1, it was good. It was not too much back row hate, but not so little that people would just set tons of back row. So I think MST at 1 was a good thing. Another one I'm thinking maybe, most likely if MST does go to 1, is Goyo Guardian coming back. It is a huge beater for a level 6. 2-8 is ridiculous, but if MST goes to 1, I think there'll be enough back row to be able to stop that card being abused. Because obviously now Goyo will be ridiculous. So, but last format when there was no Heavy, that would have been an excellent format for Goyo to come back because of D-Prisons running around everywhere. So much back row hate that it's really difficult to keep a Goyo on field, basically. But I'm only saying this maybe. It's another maybe, kind of like Bryo. So maybe if they ban Bryo, they bring Goyo back. It's like one of those things that we need a good level 6. So I'm only saying it could come back if MST goes 1 and we have enough back row. That's it. Next to go to 1 is Call of the Haunted. I know here in TCG not many decks run Call of the Haunted, but over in the OCG, Call of the Haunted is abused in Insectors. The fact that they can just Call of the Haunted something back and just start their loops, start all their shenanigans with that. So it's it's all in the OCG, and that's all I know, so I'm not going to really say much about that. Here's not doing much, but this banlist is on the TCG. Hey, the lighting starting to be a bit closer to normal. Last 1-to-1, and this is only if they hit 2 of the free spell cards I've mentioned I'm banned, and that's Dark Hole Reborn Heavy. This does have a chance because Konami likes being weird and trying to bring stuff back, and this is the ban card I think they might bring back other than Goyo, if they do hit 2 of the free spell cards, and that is Magician of Faith. Not sure if that, because most of the time people don't want that to come back because we have so much power cards that it will just be splashed into every single deck, and it'll just give us like 2 Reborns, 2 Dark Holes, 2 Heavy Storms, whatever we choose. But if they hit 2 of them, then it might. Not sure what could abuse it yet, but that's what I'm going for. Give me your thoughts in the comments down below what you think of that, but it's just an idea. Not sure if they will. It's my kind of randy choice to go for. If I'm right, then yay. To 2, Book of Moon. I think Book of Moon does, I'm not sure on this because Konami wants to sell their XCs, but Book of Moon to 2, it was a good card. It slowed the game down, which is what this game needs, and it does require you to think on when to use it, otherwise it would just be an egg 1, and that's basically why I think it should come back. It might give Empty Jar the little boost that they need, but they were doing nothing when Book was at free anyway, so, but they have the Zenmeister, so you never know. Well, I honestly think Book should be at 2. It slowed the game down. It stopped your opponent from doing all their shenanigans. So I think it should come back to 2. People are saying it should stay at 1, but I think it should come to 2. Hyperion to 2, because as you probably known from the hype we got here with Agents, OCG when Agents came out were everywhere. So I honestly think with that, Hyperion to 2, maybe Venus is pretty much the Stratos. It might go, that could go to 1. It is, I don't know what Konami will do to Agents. So far most predicted is it Venus or is it Earth that searches? The searching one, their own Stratos. But I can't remember right now, mine's drawn a blank. But their Stratos might get hit, or Hyperion might get hit, because Hyperion is basically a Dark Armed Dragon that basically can bring himself back. Pretty good. Yeah. Next is another Structure World deck, and I think Grapha or something in the Dark World deck, that, because again, OCG, Dark Worlds, whatever, hence the hype here for Dark Worlds being awesome. That's really it. I know it's not doing much in TCG, but it was ridiculously popular in OCG, hence everyone thought, oh, Dark World is going to be so awesome, it's going to be tier 0, oh, they're ridiculous. Also my reasoning for why I think Insectors might have that bit as well. I'll just have to wait and see. And yes, I do not think Insectors will be tier 1 this format. Maybe next. Maybe. They will do well, I think, but I don't think Insectors will keep up with the format in this one. No matter what other people say, I'm sticking by that. I think they're just another hype deck in TCG land. Next, at 2, Rescue Rabbit. That is a card that is abused over in TCG, is abused in OCG. It's extremely good, so it puts the 2 so it's not as spammable, but it's still usable. So it gives them that, but I just think Rescue Rabbit to 2. It's my own choice. Another thing to 2 is the Evolzar Lagia. Again, because of it's played so much in so many decks in OCG. It's played here as well, But even if that gets hit to 1 because of its Solemn Judgment type effect, that is basically free in a way, if you know what I mean. But not sure if they will, because it is a new card. Because they don't usually ban new cards unless it is literally game changing. It completely destroyed the meta. Hence Dark Strike Fighter. If you look it up if you don't know what Dark Strike Fighter and what that did to the format. And that's basically what I'm thinking. I'm thinking both Rescue Rabbit and Lagia. Mostly Rescue Rabbit might go from 3 to 2 to 1, and then if it's still abused at 1, then banned. It's what I think is going to happen. Lagia maybe, I'm not sure. I think Rescue Rabbit's what's making Lagia broken, to be honest. Unless Evolzars basically become ridiculous. But we just have to wait and see with that. I don't know what Konami will do, but that's what I'm thinking. At 2, I think Konami is trying to help Blackwings, but not make them ridiculously good again. Hence, we got Icarus back to 3. But I think what we do need is either one of 2 choices, is Kalut to 2 or Whirlwind to 2. Now, Whirlwind was one of the cards that was basically ban-worthy in the Blackwing deck, other than Dark Arm Dragon, but it's not really that bad anymore, Dark Arm Dragon, so Whirlwind now is actually not as good. What you can search, you usually want to search your Blizzards or Kalut, depending on what you summon, but it's just gives them that little boost. I'm not sure which would actually help, but I just think OCG loves their Blackwing, so they might give them something back. So, just have to wait and see about that. This is my own choice on what I think they should do. Is basically, I think they're trying to help Light Swarms but not make them ridiculous again by giving them too much consistency back in the days when they had triple Lumina, triple Charge, stuff like that. So, I think put JD to 2 and then Lumina to 2. It'll give them less power, which was what they didn't need. It got them hyped, but JD to 3 wasn't what they needed. They needed the consistency, so if they put Lumina to 2, then it'll give them that consistency that they did need to come back, because Light Swarms aren't doing anything right now. It's basically like what they're trying to bring back some of the old decks that they used to play, like, hence why they put JD to 3, tried to help the deck out, see how that does, wasn't good enough to bring them back into the meta, and same with Blackwings, they gave us Icarus back, but just have to see if they will try to help these decks again. But if they do, I think that's what they should do. Give Blackwings Kalut or Whirlwind, and then for Light Swarms, put Lumina to 2 and put JD back to 2, just to even that out again. Most Light Swarm players probably will agree that they would rather prefer that over JD at 3 and Lumina at 1. And no, they should not bring Charge to 2 either. That would just make things ridiculous again. Because other decks can splash in triple Raikou and 2 charges, and even shoving Lilas in there for even more milling for plants and such. So yeah, Lumina to 2 makes it safe. Lumina's only played in Light Swarm, so I think that should be good. Super Poly, with heroes now having every element now, and coming up TCG they will have every element, it means people can basically quite easily make a pure hero deck and play 3 Super Polys. It will be one of those annoying cards that it's just like, you just spend all this time trying to make a pretty decent guy or something, and then you just Super Poly away. I just think, put it to 2, see how that affects it, because I don't think most people would run 3 anyway, but it's safe to play 3 with all the elements now out. It's just what I'm thinking. I'm not sure what you guys think on that. I just think Super Poly 2 would be alright. And this one, if Dandy does go banned, obviously what I mean, then Debris Dragon, Debris Dragon, whatever you want to say, without Dandy, it's not really going to be abused as it used to be. Because it used to be summon this, get Dandy, Black Rose Field, get 2 tokens. And if you had Bulb, mill for Bulb, yay, formula! Happy face. But yeah, that's basically what people used to do. But if the Dandy goes, I think it's safe to put it to 2. Not sure if they will though, they might probably see what happens and then put to 2 and then all that. But that's basically what I think for going to 2, that's it. 3, this is only if BLS goes obviously, is Primal Seed. Kind of a no-brainer for that, since Primal Seed went to 1 because BLS came back. BLS goes, there's no need for Primal Seed to be at 1. That is it. And last one, I think that could go to 3, is Summoner Monk. Summoner Monk was played in when it was at 1, but now, and then it got put, after a while it stopped getting played because better cards came out basically, and Summoner Monk got put to 2. It was not, it's not really played now either, it's just the odd Randy tech that people choose. So I just think, because before Summoner Monk got put to 1 because Rescue Rabbit was around and that was just ridiculous having that. Synchro Cat for all you people that remember that. Good times. But yeah, Summoner Monk to 3, with Rescue Rabbit gone, it's not really much of a problem. Now, last things I think that should get hit, but I'm not sure what. Maybe hit the wind-up loop, so they either can't do it, or, well, most likely they probably will be able to in the end, but if they really tried to make a deck that does it, but at least make it less consistent, because it's one of those decks that if it goes off, you've lost. We don't want decks like that. Although, this is for coming from the guy who tried to make Gusta FDK, but my actual first ever deck I used to make was Sidekicks, and I wanted to make them at least be able to win stuff, so, but I didn't want to make the new one with the new remove from play stuff and make those OTKs. I wanted to make something that would just be true lols, so I made Gusta FDK, but they banned Mindmaster before we got the Gustas. Oh well. But anyway, I think hit the wind-up loops and make it less consistent, so then it's not going to be, because we all saw what Frog FTK was like, we all saw what Magical Explosion FTK was like, stuff like that. We don't want stuff like that, that basically wins when they get off, or pretty much wins, you know. So, make that less consistent. You're not sure what to hit, but not really paid much attention to that, because I'm not going to play any wind-ups, and since it's brand new, I've not actually played any wind-up loops at all, so I'm just wanting to say, just make it less consistent, see what happens. I do know how they do it and all, with their Shark, Hunter, Rat, stuff like that, do those loops, yay. But yeah, I do know it, but I've not really paid much attention to it. Next big event I'm going will be Nationals, and that's ages away, so it gives me time to actually research the stuff that I will need to know. And the other deck is probably hitting sectors in a way, since it is everywhere in the OCG. Not so much that it becomes unplayable like Sam's are. Hit it so it's either enough so it's still in tier 1, but not like played everywhere in Japan like they are now. Because that's what I think will happen, and sectors are everywhere in Japan, so hit them. But kind of like hit them so they're still a viable deck. And this is on OCG, so I don't know what will happen in TCG if this happens, but hit them in a way so they'll be still a good deck, but not so they're basically everywhere. Now, just notes on stuff for people saying, oh, tour guide should go to, Tengu should go to, stuff like that. No, I do think they should. The cards that should get hit are like Tour Guide, Evolzer, Dolka, Tengu. Those should get hit in my opinion, but TCG exclusives, they're not. So, that's all I have to say. So, anyway, that's all. That's what my banlist prediction is. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me in the comments below what you think will happen, what you think of my banlist, stuff like that. Anyway, that's everything. See you, YouTube.